Hey guys, welcome to another stream here with me, Jose Najarro. Hope everybody's having a good day, right? We have a nice amount of news. Came out after hours yesterday. We had Netflix report earnings. Stock is down about 8%. So first, let me know what you guys want to talk about today. If not, we can take a look at Netflix and some other big news on the market. What is everybody interested on? One thing I am gonna work on today is a skills video. I keep seeing people request that stock, so we can definitely take a look at that today. Let me just make sure everything is working fine. So it says I am. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, so we gotta take a look at. Give me 1 second, guys. So hope everybody's having good time. I kind of did a little mix up with this stream setup. Let me just get this fixed real quick. Let me pop out chat. Right, guys, give me 1 quick second. What's going on, Jin? How's everything? Give me, again, guys, give me 1 quick second. Getting all this set up. So is anybody here following Netflix? I mean, Netflix had crazy earnings, right, yesterday. Browd, you also want to take a look at Jamia. Okay, we can definitely take a look at those. Give me one. So is anybody thinking of buying anything today? And Tone, since I'm with, I'm not, I mean, I'm a sponsored with them, right? That's pretty much it. I don't know. I don't work with their analyst size. So each of my thoughts are my own. To me, my top picks right now, right? I have 4 picks that I enjoy the most. That's C, Unity, Sorens, and Nvidia, right? So those are my favorite. Yeah, Netflix missed subscribers by a nice amount, right? And they also gave guidance for next quarter to be pretty weak. So it's not looking that good for Netflix in the short term of things. Right, let's see. I'm the best. I'm the greatest. I mean, right now there's so many. Um, I do share my portfolio. So yeah, that's definitely something you can check out on previous videos where I share my whole portfolio, and I actually have it on my Discord channel too. But let's see, right? We had Verizon report earnings. So I want to take a look at what earnings we had today. So yesterday we had Netflix, right? Netflix and Silvergate. I know a lot of people are big in the overall cryptocurrencies, right? So Silvergate might have been one. I heard did kind of bad, but I heard their earnings were good. The stock price didn't meet up to expectation. All right, Silvergate is down 2% pre-market. I guess earnings weren't too bad. I know ARK has been buying Silvergate and they're bullish on that play. What else do we have? We have, I didn't really care for much besides Netflix. Netflix is down 8%. That's probably, I don't own all the FANGs. Netflix now at 500 doesn't look too bad, right? I'm gonna definitely do a video later on Netflix. How do you calculate the intrinsic value for C? I mean, Jin, I think intrinsic value is not something every investor does, right? I mean, you have to understand if that's your investment style. or if it's not. For me, it's not, right? I don't. I can see the market they're in. They're in the fintech. They're in the e-commerce. They're in the gaming markets. They're still expanding into crazy regions. So for me, it is a bullish company, seeing that type of revenue growth, seeing that type of cash flow growth in their gaming side, seeing all the departments that they're seeing. So intrinsic value, I think it's something that it's very, very hard to do, Jen. It's not something any investors can do, right? I think only one of the greatest have really been able to make it, right? Because at the same time, you have to think about future growth for the company. You have to think of the future markets that they're gonna do. So it's definitely not something I do, right? Even through the multiple years of experience, I don't think that's an investment style I like to follow. Morning, Jabiki, how's it going? Thanks for helping us all make sense of this crazy market. Is Nvidia still a buy at current prices? Nvidia, for me, I'm saying in the long term of things, Jabiki, it is definitely a buy for me, right? This is a company that I believe in the um, 5 years, 5-10 year span, it can definitely be like a 3-4x for me. Even at this current prices, I really enjoy Nvidia. They're hitting every single market, GBK. So again, right, it's definitely pulled up a nice amount, but it just entered a new market, right? It just entered the data center CPU. So obviously you would have to see a new pull up with a new form of revenue. And this is why I think it's pretty crazy to kind of give valuation on companies that are continuing to innovate, right? I mean, investors that were looking at Nvidia, we're probably only looking at Nvidia and giving it in some form of value based on the GPU market it's in, based on the certain markets it was in. But when new products like that, when they innovate into new markets, that's a whole different story. That's something not priced in at that moment. So I'm really excited to see how they do with the data center CPUs. Nvidia's a huge. They have great engineers on their side. We can tell by how high or how great their GPUs are doing right now. So for me, super bullish on Nvidia. And this is me being bullish without the acquisition of ARM. Even if they don't, like, at the prices it's at right now, I think it's great even without an ARM acquisition. If they have an ARM acquisition, which I do believe is going to take multiple years, that's a whole different story, right? Hey Jose, what's going on, Usama? Long time. Feel like I haven't seen you in the comments below, man. But hope you're doing good. Did we ever had a look at the Eat Beyond stock? Eat Beyond. Is that Beyond Meat? Is that the one you want to take a look at, Osama? Electric Soldier, thoughts on PayPal and Square? I mean, one thing, guys, I don't know if you guys have done, looked at, is definitely recommend big ideas. Wait, I don't think it's in this computer. Yeah, it's not on this computer. Arc. Oh, yes, it is. Arc big ideas, right? So Arc, at the beginning of the year, they gave a great presentation, and they share for free. This is one thing I enjoy about Arc. Like I said, I don't follow them blindly, but they share a lot of information to us. And one of the things they talk about is digital wallets. I've done a video on these four. I still haven't done on the remaining. Maybe if you guys want me to take a look at them some more, just feel free. But in digital wallets, they mention how companies like PayPal, like Square, are growing dramatically, and that the digital wallet world is still entering, is still beginning, right? It's a huge $1 trillion play. How Cash App and Venmo, in just a matter of a few years, have more annual active users than some of the big banks out there right now. So I can see why PayPal and Square are going up with the overall transformation of digital movement right now, right? Stock prices, let's see, Square has moved down. I'm pretty sure, right? It is down from its all-time highs. Let's see, all-time highs in the past, from its 52-week highs, about 283. Not sure where I see 283. Let's maybe make it here. I mean, it's pulled back about 11%, but Square, right? Both Square and PayPal, even though they are online payment or e-payment stuff, they're both good for opening and a closing economy, right? So that's why I do believe they haven't taken a big hit as many growth stocks. What's going on, Fizz? Good morning, man. Hope you're doing good. and had $5 on PayPal. Couldn't cash it out, so spent it on a dollar bill. Then deleted the app. Really, you couldn't cash? Does I've never seen um. I've always been able to take out up to zero balance on PayPal. So I can't believe you weren't able to take out those. I mean, it happened to you, right? I believe you. But that's a weird thing that you weren't able to take out the few things. What's going on, David Becker? Dibs P, thoughts on Helion? You know that market, that clean energy market that Helion stock is hitting. It's not one I'm too into right now, right? Crazy pull downs, just like everything we're seeing right now. Insane, 85%. I think it's insane, right? So this is why I have a tier level system, right? I have a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Small companies like this usually tend to be tier 3 stock in my portfolio, just because of these reasons, right? They're hugely volatile, and things like this can happen like crazy, right? Skills and TTCF, bullish on both, but very small. They're a tier 3, tier 2 in my portfolio, so it's something that I think investors should definitely try to think about, really having like a tiered set for their stocks. Doug, you're ready for more pain? I don't know, man. I'm tired of the pain. I've become numb to the pain now, right? No way, Fizz is snowing by you. That's insane. And walking the dog. Nice before work. What time is it by you, Fizz? Wait, you're working from home though, right? Thoughts on T-Doc and snow. Um, and let's take a quick look at Helion, right? Someone was just wanted to take a look at it. Let me see. So Helion, we saw it was down about 85%. I want to take a quick look, just a quick look at their, so $1.4 billion market cap, right? The company right now, if we take a look at future growth, it's such a small, seems to be a recent SPAC. They're not expected to be profitable or positive in cash flow from operations. They're not even making any revenue, right? It seems like they're barely making none. No historical data on the revenue. This is something I wouldn't even think about owning myself, right? Doesn't mean it's a bad investment. Just means something I wouldn't own. The only good thing it has for itself is right now a strong cash compared to debt, right? It has about $600 million in cash. Doesn't mean it's bad, right? It's just something I personally wouldn't invest in. Oh, same time, Viz. Okay, yeah. I forgot. I was wondering because I thought you had to go to work. Viz, you made yourself really bullish on Grab. Mr. Bear is a good way to get on bullish of Grab. I know he's been sharing a lot. Mr. Bear, can you send me the link again, or that picture you have? I have my Discord channel open. Not sure if Mr. Bear is actually here. For some reason, my stream didn't work. I got to learn out how to do it, but I think 2 streams were running at the same time here on YouTube. But let me see if I can find the picture. What is Grab? Let's take a look at what is Grab, David Becker. Grab is like the super everything in Southeast Asia. They do everything from, it seems, fintech. Yeah, Mr. Bear, I'm on Discord. Can you post it on Discord? I have it open on my other screen. Last time I saw you posted it there, but I didn't have it open. So I didn't see it. This time I'm ready. So, Mr. Bear, quick question. I saw you were waiting on my other stream as the reminder. Did it automatically bring you to this stream, or did you have to switch streams? I have to find out why that happened. I'm still new to this whole YouTube streaming community. So, David Becker, right? Let's see. What they do delivery. They're like a whole Ubers, right? They do deliveries for food, for stores, for other types of packages. They also do rides. They also do like fintech services. Switch streams. You had to switch streams, Mr. Bear, or the thing switch streams for you? Doug, yeah, my bad. I gotta see why. I thought it would have automatically brought you to this I have to practice with that. Maybe I'll try it next time. Yes, the only bearish case I mean, I think the SPAC ownership is a viable reason. Um, definitely a viable reason. Oh, you switched. Okay, Mr. Bear. I'll have to fix that for next time. Thank you, Mr. Bear. I got the picture. Um, So this is one of, all right, so first let's take a quick look at Grab, right? So Grab, they kind of do a full-on service on Southeast Asia, right? They do deliveries from food, restaurants, right? Typical Uber Eats. Think about it, Uber Eats. They also do mobility. Think of it of Uber Rides, right? Then they also do financial services. They have like a form of online payments. Think of it maybe like a small PayPal type thing or like a Venmo. They also have other small platforms. And the SPAC right now, is it a SPAC? Yes. Well, let's take a quick look at the SPAC. Fizz, do you have the actual ticker? Let's take a quick look at it. What is this again? Grab SPAC. All right, thanks for that, Mr. Bear. Yeah, I'll open that one up as well. AGZ. Thank you. So all right. So first, let's also take a look. All right, Fizz, and that's great, right? Let's talk about that, right? Let's try to talk. I thought the same thing. Both. Well, and let's look at it. So the right now the ticker is AGC, right? Nasdaq is currently sitting at $12.72. It jumped up a nice amount, I think, on April. Kramer, I believe, recently talked about it. I'm not sure if this was right here when we saw the huge increase. I know Mr. Bear was mentioning that Kramer has recently talked about it. And usually when he talks about some stocks, there tends to be a bump up. But if it was in the past few days, there was no Kramer effect. The stock is sitting at $12.72, not too far off from its nominal value, right? The closer it is to 10, the better it is, right? So we saw, right, they do, their main services are the deliveries, mobility, and fintech. They also have other thingies like they have like help you discover booking hotels and other stays, gift cards, and rewards. This is probably the smaller portion of them, but it's good to know that they have that. So first, Grab is working its way into all-in-one app. I wouldn't be surprised if they eventually go to other countries, working their way to the United States. Agreed, right, Edward? They're kind of getting into all these markets. I can see them also being like a TripAdvisor style, and all that, right? So overall, the business is pretty cool. Now let's take a quick look at this image. So first thing is the company is going to be valued at what? Equity value of about 39 million. Is that going to be is this all in United States US dollars, right? It should be. That's in millions. So it's going to be $40 billion valuation. So $40 billion valuation. They're going to have plenty of cash to their name, right? A nice amount of cash, almost $9 billion, $8 billion in cash. So that's good. One of the biggest things about this is SPAC investors, right? SPAC investors are the people that are going to buy the SPAC are only going to own 1.3% of the overall business. Some people see that as a bearish thing. Some see it as a bullish thing. I see it as both, right? I see it as a bullish thing because it shows me that, hey, the actual insiders don't want to sell their positions right now at a $40 billion valuation. If they believe the stock was a $40 billion valuation, they probably would have sold a lot more shares during this time. So that's where I see that bullish valuation, that bullish segment. At the same time, Mr. Bear brings up a good point that there is a bearish side to it. The bearish side is because it's 1.3 only percent, if insiders start to sell off, the overall dilution of the share can jump up dramatically, which can really push down the stock price a lot. And another thing is, right, one thing is because it's going to start off with such small position size, I do believe this is a stock that will jump up a lot because of the low volume or the low amount of actual shares being traded. So let's take a look. Let me see the second picture that Mr. Bear has for us, and here is the lockout page. So for some reason, Mr. Bear, the image is kind of weak. It's kind of blurry. Um, but pipe registration, we can see a nice portion of the company's lockout period ends on 5 days after their second quarter results. So I'm not sure. That's about day 50 or day 60. I can't really see. 180 days after a good portion of their lockout period ends. For insiders, so here they have management and top 5 GHIs. At the same time, right? One thing, if one can enter at about a $40 billion valuation, since you're not seeing that much insider sellings, I think that's super bullish on the company. If we start to see that stock price increase dramatically, is something I would normally stay away from. I mean, definitely pretty cool. Friskies, I think they have 72% of the rideshare market in Southeast Asia. So yeah, this is one I definitely want to do a full video on. They seem pretty interesting. I do think right now the Southeast Asian market is where we're seeing a lot of growth in form of applications like this, in form of mobile gaming. Usually it all goes together, right? If you're trying to see a lot of mobile applications doing well there, you're most likely going to start seeing a lot of like mobile gamings and anything in that mobile tech sector continue to grow. So fintech, ride sharing, Uber style companies, I do believe will see strong growth in that region in the next few years. That's why we're seeing stuff like Southeast, like C doing amazing, right? So maybe Fizz later on my video, I can find some crazy bearish reasons for this company. You personally think, Fizz, that their market share will hold a lot more market than C? I mean, C right now, you can see that's their smallest market right there. Thank you. Yeah, I'll take a look at that one when I do the video, Mr. Bear, for sure. So, Electric Soldier, what is your guess for when this growth SPAC sell-off will end? I don't know, Electric Soldier, right? One thing I do want to say, though, is it's going to happen. If it happens, I'd rather be. My investment style hasn't changed. I'm still going to continue to buy some of these high growth stocks. The reason is because the market is super volatile, right? It's going to change out of nowhere. And once it starts changing, people are not going to be in that market. So I'd rather wait it off. I'm going to continue to buy. I think today will be my first day buying after about a few weeks. I think it's been 4 weeks since I haven't purchased any stocks. Today I already post on my Discord channel the stocks I'm going to buy when the market opens. So to me, I haven't even changed my investment style at all. I'm still investing in some of the biggest companies right now. I do believe high growth, right? I do think we might see 2, 3, 4 months of it being quiet, and I wouldn't be. It's not going to shake me out, right? That's the first thing, Electric Soldier. I do believe up to maybe even 6 months of it just being a quiet period for growth stocks, and I'm okay with that. Right, wealth is. I don't expect my wealth to grow dramatically. I had a great year last year. 2020 was a great year for my growth stocks. I don't mind. I don't mind slowing down right now if my portfolio doesn't do as well as it did last year. I don't expect it to. So I do think for the next 6 months, high growth stocks might be quiet. But at the meantime, if they are quiet, they're probably giving me great buying opportunities. So that's what I'm continue to do. Jose, no, I don't think I'm gonna buy Grab right now, Fizz. Not for sure. So give me one quick second, guys. And also, while you guys are here, make sure to hit that thumbs up. It helps so much with the YouTube algorithm, and I truly appreciate it. So, all right, you wanna any stocks anybody wants to take a look at? Carol, you want to talk about Inbev? About AB Inbev. Is that two stocks? Is that one stock? AB Inbev stock. What market is this? So this is a huge company, and I'm surprised I don't know it. It's in the multinational drink and brewing company. They're traded under the New York Stock Exchange. Is this a who do they own? David Becker, exactly. If I usually don't buy the stock, it means the stock price is gonna go up, right? If you guys have an ETF, if you guys have a fund that follows all the stocks I reject, I'm pretty sure a portfolio would be better. All right, so let's take a quick look. So they do beer. Yeah, I was assuming beer company. I'm not much of a drinker, so not a market I follow too much. Right, from its all-time highs, the stock is down about 6%. It hasn't really seen too much of a correction. That's actually pretty impressive. I'm surprised that they pay a form of dividend, and looking at it from here from Google, they don't have positive earnings. So that's actually pretty weird. I would have expect a company with negative earnings to not pay to actually pay a dividend. So that's pretty weird. Let's take a look at it in a quick look in fundamentals, bud. Not here. Let's see. Maybe I can't find this company here. AB. Is it this one? Yes, it is. Okay. And Hauser. All right, so it is this one. All right, so let me take a quick look at their numbers, right? So future growth, right? This is something I personally I'm not into, right? 5.1% revenue growth, not my style, right? There's only a few companies that I would hold that are slow growers. Those are usually some of my top tech giants, like Microsoft, right? Maybe Disney, stuff like that. Like I said, I'm not into beer. I'm not big into it. I'm not a big drinker, so it's not a market I'm heavy in. Okay, I can see, right, this year was a heavy year for them. They took negative earnings, but they're still positive in cash flow from operations. Normally, they do have positive earnings, right? So this is a company that has strong fundamentals, positive cash flow, positive earnings. If we take a look at their health, they're kind of leveraged, right? They have a nice amount of debt compared to cash. It's okay for them to be leveraged, in my opinion, because they are profitable, because they are positive in cash flow from operations. So fundamentally, not the best thing I've ever seen, not the worst things. They do have positive earnings. Just because of the future growth and because of the market is not something I enjoy. It's not something I would buy. Um, but overall, we can see, right, market has been doing good. People are still drinking. Stock price has definitely had a great year, and it's not seeing this pullback like some of these growth stocks. How did earnings go so far? I haven't had any yet. Duck, I think the only main earnings I followed so far has been Netflix, and Netflix was down on subscriber counts. I don't think I followed anybody else so far. No big players yet. Can we talk about and how it may impact FANG stocks overall and growth? So for me, all right, let's take a look at Netflix earnings for sure. Netflix stocks. I actually wanted to take a look at their investors relations. Netflix, I think, does such a great job. Not on their presentation. I hate how they do their earnings video. I like how they gave the presentation they give. So Netflix first quarter 2021 letter to shareholders. This is it. Okay. Let's take a quick look at this. So revenue did grow 24% compared to the same time last year. That's super cool, right? It's been one of the highest growth in revenues compared to quarter four, quarter three, quarter two. So they're still seeing strong revenue growth. What else can we see? Earnings are strong. Global streaming paid memberships. They grew by a nice amount, but that's, I think, one thing that hurt them a lot. We're going to look at that. Year-to-year growth on quarter one for 2021 was only 13.6% of paid members compared to 22.8% a year ago. Remember, a year ago, most of us were already kind of in lockdown, so everybody was kind of getting Netflix, getting that. So we kind of saw that rubber band effect. Netflix warned us that it was going to happen, that they were going to see lower growth counts. Another thing that's super awesome about Netflix is, again, they are free cash flow positive. This is definitely great for them. Let's take a look at this presentation. So global paid net ads, they were expecting about 6 million subscribers. They got about 4 million, about $2 million, 2 million subscribers less than they were expected. Netflix doesn't usually miss. They've only missed a few times, right? They missed here in quarter 3 by a small amount. I really wouldn't consider that a miss. They missed it again here in quarter 3 of 2019 by a small amount. Again, I wouldn't really consider that a huge drop. The only times it really missed, I want to say, was quarter 2 of 2019 when it saw that. But look at this. This is the reason. It's pretty much a rubber band effect, right? I think this rubber band effect is something I mentioned yesterday in form of growth stock valuation. It's the same thing here on net ads. Quarter 1 of 2020, they saw 15.8 million subscribers. They were expecting only 7 million. So they got the subscribers that were going to come throughout the quarters all enter here. So to me, I don't think it's bad news for Netflix. The only thing is Netflix, when they do give a subscriber, when they give guidance that they actually believe they're gonna beat. So it's definitely a little negativity that they didn't meet that. The worst thing, I think, is their guidance. Look at this. For quarter 2 of 2021, they are not expecting much growth. I think they're only expecting about 1 million subscribers to come in for quarter 2 of 2021. And I think this is the main reason in Wall Street is bearish on Netflix right now, because of their guidance for quarter 2. Look at it. It's pretty much not much growth, where every other year for between quarter 1 is just a constant uptrend. So here investors are like, whoa, is Netflix kind of halting right now? A good portion of this was, they mentioned it was the content. There wasn't much content released here in quarter 1, and they don't expect much content released in quarter 2 either. That's why they expect that low revenue, that low growth in subscribers. But they do say by quarter 4 they're gonna have Cobra Kai is coming back. I forget what other ones. Cobra Kai is probably the only one I really watched, but I know they mentioned some other names that are gonna come in, like season 3. In about quarter 4 of this year, and that's where they expect a huge growth rate to come. So yeah, I mean, earnings, and I don't think it's gonna affect FANG too much, right? Because they still saw revenue growth, right? So the overall big tech companies, I do believe they're still gonna see huge growth. What I am more curious is how it's gonna affect, like, maybe Disney. Let's see Disney stock. So Disney is down about 1.7%. I wonder is because they might think that Disney Plus might also do bad. Let's take a look at what some other ones. Viacom, right? Viacom. That one's not down. Discovery A. That one's not down, about 1%. That could be the overall market right now. Fubo TV, right, taking the big hit, about 3.3%. And what's another streaming stock? Yeah, I think they also mentioned investing a lot in international shows and movies. And Fizz, I think so, right? I mean, that's something they normally are doing, and let's see where most of their growth is coming from. I know they break it down. So here, paid memberships, we can see in United States, Canada, and North America region, they barely grew 500 million subscribers in this region. Most of their growth is coming from Europe, Middle East, and Asia region. Europe, Middle East, and Africa, I think. Yeah, Europe, Middle East, and Africa. That one saw about 2 million subscribers. So that's where most of their content is creating. So that's why Netflix is right now really focusing on international shows. Right, Latin America didn't see much growth, and the Asia Pacific, Australia region saw a modest growth as well. Yeah, and the great thing is some of those shows do great here in the U.S., right? So even if they work are meant for another region, A lot of those shows are doing well here in the United States as well, in North America. You think so, Ed? I mean, that's gonna be crazy, right? This the only I think I'm not bearish and bullish on CCIV, similar to Bear. I see both sides. The one thing I do like about CCIV is that they are so close to producing a vehicle, right? They've already have so many views, YouTube shows of driving through New York City, of the different tests that they're doing. That they're one of the few EV companies that is right there, about to start off. Um, so I do think that's going to be a huge thing. And right now, with the crazy pullbacks, it might be allowing, right? It's not very close to its nominal value, down 70% from all time highs and about 80% up from the nominal price. I could see why right now people would be bullish on this one. Saw some like Mayo. Oh man. Can you check out Wish? Sure, let's take a quick look at Wish. I'll do that for you. Any good stocks are at a reasonable price right now. I think a lot, Anson. A lot of people are buying different stocks. I'm entering a few stock. I'm buying a few more stocks today. But Wish, right? Is this it? Wish is down 61.85%, with a market cap of $7.35 billion. It's definitely. I personally have looked at their website. Not a huge fan of their website. I feel like I'm always hearing negative things about Wish and people purchasing from there. If we take a look at future growth, the company is expected to grow 17.2%, right, Sauce? So this is definitely a nice growth stock. They're not profitable right now. They are almost positive in cash flow from operations. So that's great news. If we take a look at financial health, they have a strong balance sheet. So I am really liking them fundamentally wise, right? Mayo, fundamentally, they do seem like a great company. The actual market that they're hitting and the overall product, not something I know too much about. Maybe that's something that you might know a little bit more about. But fundamentally, they do say they do look pretty good, right? Even though they are not positive in earnings, because they are positive in cash flow from operations, because they are positive, strong balance sheet, I kind of overlooked them in that negative earnings. Not a market that not a stock I personally would buy at the moment. I think if I want to kind of, because right, they do e-commerce and stuff like that, right? Wish.com. Shopping made fun, right? So even their website, right? Their website to me looks like a lot of fake nonsense. I personally wouldn't purchase from here, so not something I would buy. Just from this website, right? I personally would rather put stuff on, maybe on like Pinterest. Like I would feel more, um, I would enjoy, if I had to choose between Wish and Pinterest, I would probably buy Pinterest and believe that one might do better returns. Guys, remember Tesla almost went bankrupt. I like CCV, but that's a huge spec in my. Yeah, I do think so, but I do think it's different, right? Tesla didn't. I feel at the stage where at what I got. Maybe we should do history. Like at what stage did Tesla almost go bankrupt, and how much cash did it have prior to that? Right? Did right now CCIV it built up a nice amount of cash due to the SPAC deal. Well, is this amount of cash able for them to continue to see that growth rate? Will it be a whole different story from Tesla? Um, Jabiki, I actually joined my Discord channel. I share there. It's my Discord channel is free. I have an overall account there. So after this stream, I posted the ones I'm gonna purchase. I posted them last night. I haven't changed my things. So I haven't bought them yet, Duck. I don't usually do normal orders, but those are gonna be. Yeah, Duck's mentioned them. There's also one more. There's actually four. Yeah, Fizz. And the good thing is they do have a plant right now, right? They let me put something up instead of just there. right? They're down. I can see both the bullish and bearish sides. If I kind of, let's say I wanted to enter the EV market and I wanted to enter with a not too crazy speculative play, I think CCIV would be it. Yeah, that's right. That is true, right? I think it's a wait, and they have a lot to prove. Right? It's cars, right? Usually the first generation of cars, even though they go through money test, there could be so many problems within that they didn't find out through the test. Things that consumers might not enjoy. So right, first generation of cars always tend to be buggy, or the first set of that first generation. So saw some like Mayo. My friend drop ships from Wish, so I believe Wish could grow with the drop shipping market. That's where I see the potential. He wanted to something cheap Alibaba, but from the U.S. Right. So that's how many people see it, right? Because Alibaba is mainly used for like that whole bulk buying, drop shipping method. Um, so I guess Wish can be compared to that. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that do that, right? I don't know any. I always see a lot of YouTubers talking about drop shipping and how they make gazillions of dollars doing that. Um, so it's pretty interesting, right? Definitely right. If you have firsthand experience on it and you enjoy it, right? Maybe your friend he's used it, so he knows more about it than I do. They seem David Becker. They seem like they're going to do that. Fisker as well. Show their car. Fisker is another one, right? Fisker, who is um, what stock is Fisker though? Oh, Fisker has their own thing. But I think Fisker, right? Their car. I definitely did a video on them. Did I? Fisker. I just want to look at the company. Yeah, the Ocean. The Ocean. So see, the Ocean is not expected to come out anytime soon, though, right? Unlike CCIV, their vehicle is expected to come out this year in the next few quarters. I think Fisker vehicle is not till 2022, I believe. Let's see, reserve. Yeah, they don't. I forgot where I saw it. Two FAQs, reservations. Right, so they still don't even have an actual date for it. 2023. Yeah, and the great thing I saw that Fisker they have they have some other manufacturer making the cars for them. So they're not really spending right now the money on creating that plant. They have to scale up. They're gonna have some other plant building their cars. I don't know. I stock 77. I just because one creates content for them doesn't mean they know about the recommendations, right? Um, so it's just content creation. That's awesome, Ale. Yeah, TTCF. Seems good. I'm happy my article popped out. Stonko is. I do have that company actually. We talked about that in the Discord channel a nice time ago. Right. I think most of us got in July of 2020 or June of 2020, thanks to Bill Brand. I think might have brought it up to us. The stock has pulled back a nice amount, 30%. This is another one I haven't bought recently. Guys, if you are watching, make sure to hit the thumbs up, please. It helps so much. Um, Still bullish on Huya. 100% still bullish on Huya. The overall streaming market. I mean, I'm streaming here on YouTube. If I was in another region, maybe I would be streaming on Huya. It's the streaming world is continuing to grow. All right, so Huya is still it's to me. Huya was a tier one stock for me last year, right, Night? So last year I built up a nice position. At the moment, I don't want to increase too much exposure into China. If I didn't have Huya, I wouldn't mind buying it at these levels, 100% sure. Luckily, I think I still am on the green with Huya. I think my average price is around 15. But overall, Huya, the streaming market, bullish. If not, I wouldn't be streaming here on YouTube, right? It's you can see the amount of content creators streaming. It's not just becoming a video game thing anymore. You're gonna start seeing big companies soon streaming a lot, interacting with fans, and I think that's gonna make it's gonna be a huge shift. Doug, you bought some more stone recently. Yeah, I really, really want to continue to just increase my exposure on those tier one stocks a little bit more, Doug. That's why I don't I haven't really bought anything else except those main players that I'm buying right now. Because I just those are the ones I want to look at right now. Maybe when they get closer to like 40% of my portfolio, I'll start looking somewhere else. Live streaming shopping is gonna get big here in the next 5 years. Think there's shopping channels for yes, very true. Is my mom, for example, she I sometimes go over their house and my mom is watching some lady sell stuff on Facebook Live and she purchases from them. I'm like, um, it's it's crazy how things are moving. Even small businesses, right, are doing it. I mean, imagine if you own a comic book store, if you own a video game store, just streaming real quick some of the products you have, some of the comics you have, some of your favorite comics, some of your favorite books. I do think it's something a lot of people can move on, can use forward, right? Doug, Stone is creeping into a tier one for you. Nice. I have to take a quick look more about some investor news on them, Doug. To me, it's definitely at least a tier two for me right now. All right, let's take a quick look at. I want to first. I want to just look at the market. Let's see. Nothing. I mean, it seems the market, even though it's kind of red, most of my stocks, it doesn't seem crazy red right now. So that's good. We have some up, right? Skills is up 4% today. Mogo is up. AMD is up. Berkshire, Nvidia. So we got some nice players up right now. And let's take a look at Finvis. Let me look at the map real quick. Oh, not. Let me take a look at maps. Right, it's pretty quiet. It's definitely. I mean, this is a 15-minute delay. But it opened up pretty quiet. Only thing not quiet is Netflix right now. Some people I know are working for live streaming e-commerce startups. Yeah, I think. I mean, especially with a lot of with AWS, you can actually use their same platform as Twitch onto your apps. I do think it's going to be a great move. And if one's big into coding, they should really start looking into some of the things that AWS does. Um, Mohamudo and Judo. Surprisingly, ABBV, and thank you. Um, yeah. And Tony. Sorry if I'm butchering the names. I'm horrible. Awesome for the stream. Appreciate the support and appreciate when you guys kind of communicate. Sometimes I might have missed a comment. Feel free to post a comment. I definitely repeat it. It's not that I'm skipping you on purpose. I just sometimes missed it. So I mean, I feel like most people think of me as just a growth investor, and right, and AbbVie is a huge. I knew this was a huge play, right? But I do believe it's also great to have a mixture of some big players that are growing at crazy levels, right? I feel like people when I was buying when it was the whole growth stock stage, when it was the whole growth stock stage, and I would do my portfolio updates, they would be like, "Oh, why do you own Microsoft? Oh man, why do you own Disney? Oh man, why do you own this?" Um, I think it's great to have a mixture of both. I do believe growth stocks is going to be a huge driver of my stock returns. So I do hold a good portion on growth stocks, but I do believe some of these giants, right? All these giants, even though they are giants, they still ant win. Ant win. I'm just I don't know. Ant one. Okay. I'm just gonna call you. um But yeah, having a mixture of both like growth stocks and some great value big tech growth stocks, which I consider, it's a good play, right? Just for times like this. Netflix has been really driving. Netflix, Disney, Microsoft right now are probably my biggest winners in this past few months. Um, so it's great. Yeah, like Mr. Bear, it's great to have your pillars. It doesn't mean all your pillars have to be the same size, right? But it definitely helps out to have different ones. Microsoft, a tier one stock for you, Fizz, right? It was a tier one stock for me last year. Microsoft, right? Facebook and Google. I don't mind holding them. So it's good. Need to have those. Yeah, agree. Wow, TTCF, when it's done bleeding, I want to buy. How is this one not done bleeding? This is insane. It's really insane. Hey, look, there's me. Whoop, whoop, whoop. But I'm pretty sure it's just because I search myself so much that Google just finds me now. And I do think, right, sometimes, and growth stocks, right, there's growth stocks, and then I feel like there's high speculative growth stocks, right? For me, growth stocks are ones that are already hitting a great market, already making some form of revenue. They might not be profitable, but they're really getting close to it. Then there's that high speculative growth stocks that have yet to make any form of revenue or are making very, very low revenue. I do believe having those type of stocks in your portfolio is also good, but understand because they are high speculative that you shouldn't buy a big position. If you do, they are going to be super volatile, and your market will go with that volatility. So have to be emotionally prepared. No, I wouldn't consider Fizz, right? I wouldn't consider TTCF high speculative. I would consider that a growth stock. They have revenues already. They're in big stores already. Um, producing. I do believe they're producing positive cash flow, right, and positive earnings. So this is more of just a pure growth stock, a growth stock for me. Right. I know if we take a look at gap earnings, I wish simply Wall Street had non-gap numbers as well. I know this gap earnings were for due to some, I forget, some type of one-time expense, but they were still profitable. I think their earnings were somewhere around 5 million, 4 million. Um, so in judo, that's what I want to say. The PE ratio right now, I think I'm, I don't I think sometimes looking at growth companies mainly at growth companies, it's different. So Eddie, the first one was simply Wall Street. For growth stocks, I do believe looking at non-GAAP earnings is a little bit better, in my opinion. Some people might disagree with that. With companies with high earnings already, like Microsoft, like all those other big players with the mature market already, I think gap PE ratios is better. But if we take a look at non-gap earnings for non-gap PE, or if we take a look at gap PE ratio for TTCF, it looks a little bit better than it really is. But if we take a look at non-gap, let's take a quick look. So this is Seeking Alpha. Let me just go to earnings real quick. Here they give you non-gap PE. So it's definitely a big difference. Non-GAAP forward PE ratio is different, for this company. Yes, I am on Twitter. You can follow me _Jose Najarro. Most of my content, though, you will find here on YouTube. Uh, uh, one. Yeah, most of my content you will find here on YouTube. I post videos and on Discord. So yeah, growth stocks. I think growth stocks with high growth, you non-GAAP is probably the better way. Still, forward PE ratio for December of 2022 on non-GAAP earnings is 58.51. Like I said, this is not to me a high speculative growth stock. It's more just a growth stock. So that's why it's good. It's good to know where the company is in, what stage. Is it a high growth? Is it a speculative play? Is it a mature company? Is it a mature growth? And then based on where that stage is at, is what type of metrics you want to look at. Because each metric is good, just you have to make sure you're using it at the proper time. Right, let me take a look at what the PE ratio actually. Um, Antoine, maybe. Did I get it right this time? I hope I got it right that time. Oh man. Yeah, right. Because look, we're looking here. We looked at the P ratio. They show you a P ratio of 10. That's a complete lie, right? A complete lie because it's a one-time event. It was a one-time event that gave them that strong earnings. So that PE ratio is not something I would follow for a growth stock, right? Completely different levels if we look at this PE ratio to this PE ratio. So that's why sometimes non-gap is a little bit more interesting to look at depending on the stage. I actually never saw that PE ratio there. That's actually pretty insane how that earnings did so well. So anybody have any? Is anybody purchasing anything today, or are you guys still waiting? Have you guys just bought too much of the dips that already ran out of cash? It's so funny. I was looking at a comment and someone's like, "Yeah, I ran out of cash 9 dips ago." I'm like, "Man, yeah, it's been the crazy market." Anson, what is a reasonable price range for Tesla? Added CCIV for a swing. Nice. Buying Baba. All dipped out, Doug. Yeah. Bounced at bottom. Nice. Bear CCIV. I don't do much trading. I know a lot of traders look at that, right? The VWAP. Not something I do. I can't look at stuff and watch with you. Ah, that's true. That's true. Fizz. So we'll find out later on. Too many double dips. Yeah. Oh man, my falling knife to a dagger. It's more like a huge sword. Freaking what's that? It's soon gonna turn into the hammer of Thor's hammer. It's gonna be the falling Thor's hammer. Ooh, you guys are too much. Judo more click. It's a little bit. MWK buy got wrecked though. And yeah, I know you were mentioning you're giving us a great buying opportunity on MWK, right? It's actually up today though, up 5%. Fizz. I don't know if you watched. Um, so at least turn to Excalibur. And someone mentioned Tesla, right? I don't know what's a reasonable price range for Tesla, right? It depends. How much you believe into the company. I actually bought in recently into Tesla, a small position. How do you find my Discord? Let me just give you the link real quick. Give me 1 second. I'll give you guys the link. Let me get. And I understand what I made a mistake now. On that other stream I was supposed to be in is still open. So I think I learned from how to not make that mistake again. Discord group. Here we go. Let me get the link. That should be the link to the Discord. All you have to do is pay me $1 gazillion to answer. Just kidding. Just kidding. It's free. We buy stocks to lose money. Buy high, sell high, and sell low. That's the motto, right? Buy high and sell low. Or right now, Ben, it seems buy low and sell lower. So yeah, Jose, may I ask, what do you think about Boxlight? Sure, let's take a quick look at that one. I don't think I've heard about it. Not sure what market they're hitting. Oh, actually, someone talked about it. Boxlight, super small market cap company, right? So that's the first thing. First thing I already can see is small company, something that's going to be very, very volatile. Stock is down. Let's take a look. 6 months. 6 months, it is down about 50%. What do they do? Boxlight's interactive technology. Okay. I don't think Simply Wall Street will have any form of information on them because they're such a small company. Normally, things like this, analysts don't follow too much, right? Analysts believe there's not many following the company, about two, but they believe high things about Boxlight. Expect 44% revenue growth rate for the next 3 to 5 years. So this is a nice growth stock. Unfortunately, they're not positive in earnings. They're not positive in cash flow from operations. What does that tell me? First, they're gonna have to have a very, very strong balance sheet, right? And let's see. So their balance sheet looks okay. Actually, I don't like their balance sheet at all. They're not profitable. They're not positive in cash flow from operations, and they actually have more debt than they do cash. Normally, if they're not positive in those two things, even I would have taken at least positive cash flow. And if they, but since they don't, I would have wanted them to have a lot more cash. So normally for that, it's usually a company I would rather kind of stay away from unless I was very, very bullish on the market. So they are an educational technology company. They develop and sell interactive classroom solutions. I do remember looking at them. Well, first, when I looked at their balance sheet, right, I was looking at this, right? I was just looking at them based on assets and debt. So right here, it kind of looked like it was equity to debt. So right here, you could see that their balance sheet doesn't look bad. But then once you take a closer look, most of their assets are long-term assets. So I kind of backtracked from there. Another thing though, you can kind of, I could see a bullish case since they sell actual hardware. I forget who just asked. Since they sell actual hardware, a good portion of their cash is coming in from inventory. One thing I like to do, right, is inventory. I like to cut it in half and use that as cash. So they have about $20 million in inventory. So I would say they have about $10 million more in cash. So it's about $23 million in cash and short-term investments compared to $24.6 million in debt. Still not a place I would want them to be, but a little bit closer. So that 1-to-1 ratio is okay, but because they're not positive in earnings, because they're not positive in cash flow from operations, something I would kind of stay away. If I was to purchase something like this, it would be a small investment. Very, very small. What do you think about Sony? First thing, Night, I want to say I can't believe Sony finally changed their ticker. I was looking for SNE, and they're no longer SNE. Now they're SONY. I just like them because of that. Uh, but I haven't really looked at too much about them. Night, are they really shifting more into digital AI and other stuff for electric cars? Um, that's pretty smart on them. I do think Sony has just too much products for me to look at. They have TVs, they have all these stuff that I'm not too interested about learning. So maybe as they are, maybe I should check them out. Night that now that they are shifting into some other models. Mogul was down big yesterday, right? Oh, and it was up today. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. All right, guys, I am done for the day. Not for the day. I am done with the stream. So today I will be streaming during market closing hours. Hopefully my reminder this time works. I'm still a little noobish to this. I think there's still like it says there's still 3 people waiting in the other one. Um, so I have to make sure I fix that. So everybody have a good day. Make sure to come out with some good information for me on after hours. So take care, guys. Have a good day and see you next time.